An odd Reacher TV show change makes more sense thanks to Season 3's book choice. A story change that felt very odd in Reacher Season 2 makes an awful lot more sense in the context of Season 3. Amazon's Reacher TV show is not, and was never designed to be, a like-for-like adaptation of Lee Child's Jack Reacher books, and most of the alterations serve the switch from page to screen. Nevertheless, one particular Season 2 deviation stood out like Jack Reacher at a child's tea party. Reacher's titular character and his friends can never truly be considered wholesome heroes, but they undeniably act as the story's good guys in a broad sense. That was evident in Reacher Season 1, but less so during Season 2's 110th Special Investigators reunion. As the situation became increasingly desperate, Reacher's crew gradually slipped from being lovable vigilantes to dangerous rogues, acting more violently and aggressively than the situation truly called for. From the bladder-busting hospital murder to interrogating the innocent Chad, Reacher's heroes became very hard to root for during Season 2's investigation. The problem became even more evident in the aftermath of Reacher Season 2's ending, in which the group executed both Langston's scientists and M. Neither act of murder was necessary, and neither happened in the books. Such behavior felt odd upon first watch, but Reacher Season 3 looks positioned to justify it. Amazon's Reacher TV show does not adapt Lee Child's Jack Reacher books in order, but rather cherry-picks which story to adapt as it goes along, and Persuader has been selected as Season 3's narrative of choice. Persuader is somewhat unique within Jack Reacher canon, as it involves the big man going undercover to work for the villains, bringing them down from within. Naturally, the undercover gig necessitates Reacher using a level of force and aggression he would typically try to avoid, and acting like the enemy draws out his most violent and vengeful instincts. If, in a parallel universe, Amazon adapted Persuader for Reacher Season 2 instead, the shift from Season 1's more heroic version of Jack Reacher to an unforgiving undercover menace would have felt incredibly jarring, an almost unrealistic progression that would inevitably have harmed Alan Ritchson's portrayal of the character. In the context of the show's overall arc, Reacher Season 2 acts as something of a bridge between the character's lighter and darker selves. With his special investigator pals in danger, Reacher turned a few degrees more volatile and ruthless against Langston and Am, and that dial will now continue turning as he seeks further vengeance for fallen comrades in Season 3. Reacher's moral compass comes under scrutiny in most of his stories, but in Persuader more than most. After making a few questionable decisions throughout Season 2, Reacher Season 3 has the opportunity to bring the ethical boundaries of its title character into sharper narrative focus. Whereas Reacher glossed over the needless acts of violence its protagonist committed in Season 2, Amazon's third season can properly begin exploring where Reacher's ethical line is drawn and what happens when it gets crossed. Reacher realizing the error of his ways and rediscovering his core values by the end of Season 3 would set up a major shift for Season 4, a reversion back to the Reacher of Season 1, who tolerated no nonsense but still had a heart as big as his sleeve. The more pressing question is exactly how Reacher will come to recognize his rampage has gone too far. Maria Stens Neagley, who is confirmed for Reacher Season 3's cast, could potentially be the character who pulls him back from the brink, but a more appropriate candidate would be the curiously absent Roscoe.